Okay, now another day in this Armageddon, right? And I'm going to show you guys with the proof, the evidence that they are setting you up, right? It is a setup, very clever setup to separate you from your God. Now let us get into the evidence to show you how subtle they are. Now a team member showed me this article. It's from The Guardian, and the date is the 29th of November 2022. England and Wales, now minority Christian countries, census reveals. England and Wales are now minority Christian countries according to 2021 census, which also shows that Leicester and Birmingham have become the first UK cities to have minority majorities. The census revealed a 5.5 million, 17% fall in the number of people who describe themselves as Christian, and a 1.2 million, 43% rise in the number of people who say they follow Islam, bringing the Muslim population to 3.9 million. In percentage point terms, the number of Christians has dropped by 13.1 and the number of Muslims has risen by 1.7. It is the first time in a census of England and Wales that fewer than half of the population have described themselves as Christian. Okay, now let me get into another piece of this puzzle to show you the setup, right? Now this is coming from The Guardian, right? And it is Saturday the 3rd of December. Pay attention. Schools call for end to archaic daily worship following UK census result. So because of the UK census result, they are calling to scrap school worship. Let us get into the article. Daily worship in schools should end, according to teachers and education experts who have branded the legal requirement archaic now that England is not predominantly Christian. The 2021 census revealed last week that for the first time, fewer than half the population in England and Wales described themselves as Christian, while 37% said they had no religion. Currently, all state schools are legally required to provide an act of collective worship that is broadly Christian. Every day, many heads admit privately that they no longer stick to this, preferring to run less religious assembly more relevant to their diverse student bodies. Okay, now that I give you the evidence now, right? Let me get into what I'm saying. Now, if you people decide to turn your backs on your God, or whatever you call a God, best believe he's going to turn his back on you also, right? Now we see in America they have completely removed God out of the schools in America in the 1960s, right? And in Jamaica they are trying to do the same, and in Britain now they come up with the excuse to say, oh well, we are no longer a Christian nation, so therefore we should not be having religious services in the mornings or whenever they do it. But if Christians are not going to have religious service, best believe nobody else is going to put their God aside, right? Everybody else is going to walk with their faith, walk with their God, right? Only Christians believe that they should compromise, they should put aside their God, right? But you all need to understand this is a big mistake you're doing, right? Getting rid of worship in the schools is a big mistake. If the Christian so-called minority believe that they should push their God aside, don't think anybody else is going to push their God aside, because they're going to continue to worship morning, afternoon, night, or whenever. Right? So definitely you see the plan to strip you of your God. You definitely see the plan to put a wedge between you and your God. It is a clever plan. Right? And I cannot believe that this is happening in 2022 in front of our very eyes. right? In front of our very eyes. These people are looking to put a wedge between you and your God. And many people in the United Kingdom and Europe forget how they came to power. They forget, right? And they don't realize that this is a spiritual war. While everyone else is holding on to their religion, holding on to their God, respecting their God, you decide to put aside your God and calling to take your God out of the school. You think anybody else is going to take their God out of their lives? You think anybody else is going to stop their morning worship because of you? You're going to regret this. If you ever stop morning worship, you're going to regret it. Right? Because it's a clever way to destroy your country. It's a very clever way, and I can't believe so much educated people, well-spoken people, well-thinking people, and you don't realize what is happening. They are looking to destroy the West and everything about the West. Right? And the only way they can destroy you is to separate you from your God. Everybody else is holding on to their God except Christians. Why? Why? No, there's not much we can do. The only thing I can do is to make sure I put the message out there, because what you're not going to say is that no one told you, you did not know, right? You're not going to get that chance to say that. But understand, everybody's holding on to their God regardless of their religion. Right? If their God is a stone, they're holding on to their God. And they're sending worship. But Christians believe they should compromise in the United Kingdom. And they are doing this under the guise that a census says that we're no longer Christian. So we should get rid of everything that is Christian. Everything that is Christian to us. Wow. So sad. We need to seek the face of the Most High while they set you people up. Let us pray and say, glory be to the Most High. How could I forget this little part? Oh, could I forget this part? Right? Another big reason why they want to get rid of prayer out of the schools is because when these entities come, right? Yeah, we're going to get entities. Right? They're going to have brand new and says, oh, we're not alone. And we have these entities that are families and they want to come to our schools and they want to be friends with your children. You cannot have these demonic entities coming into schools as children around your children and you're having worship. It's not going to happen. It can't work. Right? It cannot work. Once they come, they need to strip the West of their religion, to strip the West of their God, so they are easily conquered, right? So that they can kidnap your children, so they can eat your children. I know it sounds weird, it sounds odd, it sounds stupid. There she go being all crazy. But I almost forgot that part, that they are coming into the schools. So that is why, if you look, America got rid of prayer. Jamaica is looking to get rid of it. So you're going to hear of a lot of different countries in the West getting rid of God out the school. Right? Now in Britain, they are using the guise that we are no longer Christians. Right? So we must get rid of our God, because it don't reflect society. Nobody's getting rid of their God to please Christians. So why should Christians get rid of their God to please everybody else? Right? Because these entities are coming. And what they don't want to come is to come to a West where people hold on to their faith, where people pray to their God, because it's going to be extremely difficult for them to operate, extremely difficult for them to kidnap your children. Right? No, I almost forgot that message, but good thing these entities around me, they serve good purpose. So we need to pray and say, glory be to the Most High.